Hey guys, it's me, and I'm on the other side of the room tonight. I'm trying to kind of do a mix of things. I know most people watch polymerclay videos. Not very many people watch glass videos, unless they're into glass. But sometimes I got to get on this side of the camera, or on this side of the workbench. I have a couple old beads that I used to make all the time that I want to revisit. So I thought we'd start and play a little bit. So I'm trying to set this up. I don't want to go too in your face. I'm trying to think of where I'd be working. I'd be working about right here. So we need to bring this down just a little bit. Maybe about right there. There we go. So hopefully that's good. I'm going to hit pause really quick, grab something to drink, and we'll start torching. Okay, we are back. I think the first thing I'm going to do, I can't. I make these watercolor like flower beads. I really enjoy making them, but they have to go in a press, and I did not. You have to coat these little metal sticks in like a clay mixture, so obviously the bead don't stick to the stainless steel. And guess who forgot to make little ones? I'm gonna do that really quick. I'm just gonna coat these. I probably won't make these tonight. I'm really trying hard to get a lot of stuff on Facebook. I put all my tumblers, all the designs I have available up there. I put all my mug designs that are up there. I have been making like metal signs, no trespassing signs. I want to get those up there. Been doing a lot of sublimation. A lot of clay, but I have not done a whole lot of glass. So I thought tonight I should change that and find out if I still enjoy doing this, because if not, it might be time to say goodbye and to start selling off some of my glass. But I don't know, considering in April I just bought a brand new torch right here. This is brand new. Not even used a dozen times. Alright, so I have my safety glasses on. Now the fun part is lighting the torch. And I like having a torch lighter, and yep, my phones were right above me, so I like using the torch lighter. Still not used to the fire yet either. Okay, so this is a rod of turquoise, a light turquoise. And we're just going to make some like an apricot color, and we're just going to wrap some of the turquoise around it. Wherever it falls is wherever it goes. These usually sell pretty good. And then I make turquoise discs to go with them. So I am going to make a couple globs of this, because if I make one big glob and pull it, I don't think my arms will pull it thin enough, because, you know, I can only pull so far. So we're just going to do little ones, and on this all we're doing is just pulling the glass like that, and that literally makes a stringer. And I want it pretty thin, probably even thinner than that. So I'm going to do this a couple times. And I love these little things. They're my little pinchers. Now, it's something about polymer clay. A lot of the canes that we make is basically just Marini, which originated out of glass. Although it's easier to work with clay thin to make glass, especially if you're eye candy clay, Ivy Niles, oops, I fell out of my hands, and you're making raccoons and stuff like that. It all can be done in glass, but boy, one mess up and that whole cane explodes and you've lost that whole cane. So that is one good thing about polymer clay, is you don't have any blowouts like that. And I'm going to grab it when it's really hot, because that is going to give me a really nice thin stringer here. Okay, so I'm going to do one more and I think we're good. I'm only going to make about 6 of these, so it shouldn't be a long video. But I'm using a press to make sure that my beads are all the same size, which, if you know me, I'm not really good with consistency. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, the faster you grab it, the more thin you can get them. I think that's good about right there. Alright, so as those are cooling, we're going to start on this fantastic apricot glass. I love this stuff. It is like an orangey yellowy apricot kind of color. Really cool. And I want to make sure I don't use my thin ones for this. These are a little wet. I just dipped them not that long ago. Just trying to make sure it's dry or it's going to come off with the bead. Okay, we're going to try and make them as round as I can before they go in the press. And I'm probably going to make these about 13 millimeters. They work great for 15 millimeters, but with glass it might be a little heavy. So we'll start right there. And we'll try using this guy right here. I'm thinking this is 13 millimeters. That's at least what I have marked, but it just seems a lot bigger. And as you can see, I got a long way to go to get that full. And you're not going to see how pretty this glass is until it comes out of the kiln. Right now it's kind of like a coral, which I think it's just an odd coral color is what they were going for. A lot of glass is accidents, and I don't know how. You think with Murano that they would know their recipes perfectly, but sometimes you get that off recipe and it ends up being a completely different color, and that color is usually pretty cool. Alright, so this is almost the size that I want. But I need to make room to wrap it with the blue. And this is the hardest part, is because I melt these so easily. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to kind of lay it there. And I'm just going to, well, normally I could just melt it and it'll just wrap itself, but today it doesn't look like it wants to. It just wants to fall off. So we're going to hold on to it. And I mean, literally, that's all. It's kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting. Turn up the heat a little bit. And it might be off a little bit in size, which is like what I told you. It's just really hard sometimes for me to get consistent. I think the height is fine. ends here. And got a lot of turquoise right there, so I'm only going to be able to put them in spots. Feels like it's been so long since I've made glass that I've got to learn all over again. Okay, so there's one. Just going to heat it up. Drop it into the kiln, and that's where he stays. One of these days I am not going to get so lucky and I'm going to end up burning myself here. So this one I'm going to make my base a little wider. Make it a little bit easier for me to get that width. And unfortunately this rod's getting really small, so I'm probably going to make only one more, which is this one, before I grab another rod. It starts getting just a tiny bit hot. Okay, so I'm putting it in the 12mm one. Another color. I don't think this is the same color. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm just going to heat that up and see what it cools down to be. And let me check underneath me and see if I have more of that apricot. The only way I can tell is that it's usually a rough edge. But I've got a lot of yellow that's a rough edge too, so I'm going to have to get down there and really look. So let's finish this one and then I'll hit pause while I do that. And yeah, you got to keep this warm, because if not it will pop. Just looking for a standard pair of tweezers. There they are. Just something that I can grab this with. Yeah, I don't have a really good grip, so they get away from me a little too quick. I don't know if you can see it from there, but you can see it being really low. Perfect. But remember, I still got to put the blue on. So I may have to manipulate this just a little bit. Take some of that center and put it towards the edge. Okay. So now we'll do the same thing we did before. This one's a little thicker. I'm gonna still kind of guide it. Alright, so that should work. And then if you want, you don't have to stop there. You can grab your regular rod and just put some dots around here somewhere. To fill up any negative space if you want. Okay, that's basically it. So this isn't even on this side. Just going to heat this side and let the glass kind of float to that side. And try and get it round. I think that one looks good. I got a little bit of mark on my blue here. If you see over here, this release is starting to break away. Some of it got on the bead itself. Alright, so hopefully all better. Okay, so we're just going to heat it up. And again, we're going to do 4 more of these. But I'm going to hit pause while I do the other 4, and that way I can show you my flowers. So let me pause it and I'll be back in a bit. Alrighty guys, so I am on my last one. So I thought I would come back on, and that way we can jump right into the spacers. Now unfortunately, every time I am on the last bead, something goes wrong. So knock on wood. More blue. I'm going to kind of hold on to this because they have been just dropping off, but maybe if I just like warm it slightly. See, if you over warm it, it's going to do that. Oh, you talk about having bad hands and lifting things up. These are like lifting up seed beads. There we go. So we have 6 beads. So I usually do, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 7 spacers to go with these. To know I was able to make a round bead tonight. Those are the worst. Okay, so as far as the little spacers, since these were only 13 millimeters, that's a donut. You could even use donuts too, but I'm going to use some discs instead. We're going to use the 13. Okay, and on something like this, sometimes you can make more than one on one mandrel. I've seen people that have made like a dozen beads on one of these. I don't know how they do it, because you literally have to keep all of them warm so they don't crack. So I can do 2, sometimes 3. I don't know how they do so many. Okay, and I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I think that bottom one's going to be a good size. Might have too much glass in this. You need to roll it, and if you can't roll it in there easy, yeah, then you got a little bit too much glass. And as you can see, I already broke the release. I'm going to try and do one more. You know, I'm not going to take a chance. So I'm going to put that blue one in the kiln, and we'll try again. So 6 beads, you're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4. You just need 5 basically to go in between. So we're going to make this just a little smaller and add to it instead of the other way around. I don't need the round ones anymore. Okay, definitely need a lot more. The donuts are a little bit easier. I don't know why certain shapes are harder than the other. But donuts and barrels are so much easier than round and discs. And it doesn't help that glass wants to move, spread out. So you've got to get to it before it basically spreads out. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why I cannot turn these. Oh. Ugly. And I'm not really sure they're like it. Alright. So I think we're gonna go to the donuts. I don't like the way that turned out. So something about a sharp edge on one of these presses compared to just a barrel round center. It just makes it so much easier. So we're going to keep that warm. And I can have a little bit bigger of a footprint here too. This one first. Make sure it stays back into the shape it should be. And then I'll come in and melt this one down. Okay, so now I have 2. So now you basically got to keep both of them hot. If I can get this one done, then I just need 5 more. Or not 5 more, I just need 2 more. Or 3, or 4. Depends how I want to sell them. We're going to do just a little more. Okay, so we're going to come back, keep these guys warm. more natural working with glass than I do with clay. So when I talk to you in the video, I seem a little bit more precise with what I'm doing than clay. It's probably just because I've been doing this for so long. And it is like riding a bike. You know, you might forget a little things like the torch temperature and stuff like that, but everything falls into place after that first beat or two. Alright, so we're just going to do one more of those. So I'm going to hit pause, and then we'll come back and we'll do the flower. I'll be back. Okay guys, so now we're coming to do a few flowers for you. Oh, I probably won't have this running the whole time, but I get comfortable here. The way my corner shelf is built is it goes into a corner, and I've got a leg right in the middle, which happens to be where my leg is. Alright, so on this one we are going to use straight-sided lentil, and this is like a 13, a 15, and an 18 millimeter. Now I may not be able to have this in the camera's view just because I've got no place to press the glass, and yeah, so I have to sit sideways today. And all I need is some clear. Okay. So I'll turn that off and turn the gas on. I'm still getting used to this torch and where to put the flame, and it hisses. My other torch was so quiet. This one hisses, and then you've got the sound of the oxygen machine underneath me. So it's a little loud in here. So I don't think I'm going to use a dark aqua. I think I'm going to go a subtle flower here. So we're going to use a light aqua instead. Going to try, as you can see, the way this dried, there's like a lump right here. So I'm going to keep that lump in the middle, and that way my ends aren't really big. This is on a 3/16 mandrel, I think it is, or 1/16. I think a 1/16 is more like it. And this one, I layer it. So there's a lot of layering going on this. So I'm going to put this up here for now. You can't see it, I know. But I just need to get kind of an idea. And then I'm going to add this furnace glass, which is a white core wrapped with a dark blue aqua, and then wrapped in clear. And that's going to give us some cool little blue lines running down this. Put a thin coat of clear over that, and this is just to give it depth. Okay. And then find some green vine here. This basically is a pea green color, an opaque, and it's encased in a transparent grass green with some black stripes. So basically it's marini. Okay, and light blue. And I'm going to cover up the green. Okay, and then we're going to do our first press. I don't think this is going to be in camera view, but if it is, fantastic, you'll be able to see it. So as you can see, it doesn't quite fill that press, and that's perfect because we're adding flowers on top of that. So if it was completely full, then you wouldn't have enough room for the rest of your design. So I'm going to grab a white stringer. And the stringer is just a thinner piece of glass than the regular rods. And we're going to do 5 dots. 1, 2, kind of in a circle. The best that I can get it into a circle. Even up the dots. I can finish this with just a clear on top of those dots. Or I can add blue. So I'm going to add the blue. Get that rod as melty as I got this one. Okay, I melt those in. And get a thinner point over here so I can get them to all melt towards the middle. Okay, and I'm going to press it really quick. Okay, so like right now is where it needs to be. So I'm just going to put a couple little dots, so it's going to look a little multi-layered. So I'm just going to do 3 of them in the center. These are usually my most requested beads too. consuming, but they're fun to make. Three. One thing cool about it being topped off with the same color as the actual bead, if you accidentally put a little bit too much, it'll blend in with the rest of the bead. So again, we're gonna melt those down, and then we're gonna do a press, and then we're gonna plunge a hole down the center, and that's gonna give it a little bit of depth. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it from where you're at. Okay. Just push a hole right down there in the center. And if you're like me and sometimes you need a thing to hold on to, just put it on your marver as you're pushing down. Okay, and then we're going to top that hole with some clear glass, and it's going to kind of make a bubble. What I'm going to do really quick, I'm just going to come here and touch it. Nope. Make it thin. And it's easier to get this inside the hole. Okay. You can put a little cubic zirconia, whatever, inside the center, and that would be a pretty cool bead. I just don't have any cubic zirconias. But yes, you can embed those into glass. Okay, so because of how long these take to make, I am only going to make this. Oops, this is a little bit bigger than the press. So before I let you go, let me fix this. And I'm going to bring this up to you so you can see it. So we're going to heat it up, get all the chill marks off it. You can't see it very well, but after it cools you'll see it really well. So again, we're just getting all the chill marks off. Okay, and into the kiln it goes. I'm going to make a couple more of those, and then I will show you the end result when they come out of the kiln, cleaned and cooled off. So I hope you guys like that, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, we are back. I just wanted to come and show you what we've made, but I want to kind of string them up here, and I hate using silver wire because I use this all the time, but I don't have a choice. I don't want to use some ugly blue or red with these. I got to find a better way to wrap these guys. So what do we got? 2, 4. All right, well, we might have enough to string all these on, because this is how they'll be sold anyways. I did a really quick cleaning job on them, and I still got to make a few more because I don't like the way a couple of them turned out. Well, that was a waste of wire, wasn't it? Alrighty, so these were the beads that we made the other night. Nice and Southwestern. I'd like these a little thinner. So I'll keep making more of them because they're just a fun set to make. I love the colors in them. And this is that orange yellow I was telling you, that apricot. It's like a mixture of both. I just love the colors in that. And these are my underwater flowers that I made. So I think these are going to be for sale in my Etsy store. It's going to go on Me and the Mutts. I'm trying to think of how much I usually sell these for. $42 because they're $14 a set. So you can buy 2 or you can buy all 6. But anyways, those are our flower beads. So I hope you guys like that, and we will talk to you next time around. Have a good night. Bye.